Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the League of Inches podcast. You can probably tell by my voice, this is recorded the Monday after Magic Round, so it's been a tough carry, but we are here producing for you once again. Um, I'm the busiest man in podcasting. People say, you know what, I feel like it today. I feel like I've just been smashed from pillar to post. Magic Round chews you up, spits you out, but I tell you what, it's a hell of a drug, and it just keeps you in there. And it was a great weekend. I can't wait to do it again next year. I've already promised in the post at League of Inches we're going to make sure we do it bigger and better next year. It's going to be a very special one. I'm already so keen for it. We're going to get the crew together. We'll see you all next year, so get ready for that. You'll hear a lot more in the next couple of months regarding 2025 Magic Round. But here we are for quick dumps. Being smashed again today, guys. Obviously, this afternoon being a Parra fan, all the Brad stuff. So I didn't get time to put the questions up like we did last week, but we're going to read them out, and then we'll basically give you an answer. We've got me, Syd as well, and then we've also got Goosey. You've seen him on the Wednesday show. Popular figure on the show now. He was so keen to get back in this week and get on board. So he'll probably become a regular for these quick dumps. It's good to probably mix it up and have a couple of us on. Me and Syd were pretty keen on that idea to start with. So that'll probably be a good little addition. And you can get some old heads, and then you can get the young gun Goosey thoughts as well. So a bit of a mixture on everything. But Frack, sorry, not Frack, I'm reading you. Syd, you weren't at Magic Round, but you watched probably plenty of it on TV. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. Always kept an eye on the footy. Obviously, family first. On the weekends it never stops with kids and here, there, and everywhere. But I kept an eye on and watched probably about 70% of most games, 80% of most games. But yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. But we'll go into that a little bit more.
I was about to say, I'm not going to ask Goosey too much because I just remember what the dump one is, and that's basically the question I just asked. So let's not go into that now. Let's just start it off. Let's go into dump one. So watch the time, Goosey. You've got 60 seconds to answer. So first up, dump number one. And he's a touchy guy, so he loves this shit. Did you enjoy Magic Rounds in person or at home? So I know you were at the games yesterday, but I think you watched the rest of it at home. Talk to us about your experience and if you liked it.
Yeah, so as a Warriors fan, we loved it. I don't know about the Eels fans and all that, but the Warriors fans, we love beating Penrith. But the experience itself is just amazing, and it's just a great thing to get around. And me being a fantasy head, I enjoy all the footy, but it all being at Suncorp is just like an amazing thing. It's just it's just so good to all have in one area. I don't know if the field likes it, but I enjoy it. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it gets chewed up, and you don't have to take the 60 seconds, so you've done well there. Sid, what about your answer? You weren't there, obviously, in Sydney, and your team wasn't even playing, so it'd be an interesting answer for this one.
Yeah, it was a guaranteed win and no injuries and suspension, so that was good. The Dragons. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, it was really good. The only downside, actually, Goosey touched on it, is the pitch. I didn't enjoy it. I was concerned about knee injuries because there had been a time in the past where at one stage it was nicknamed Sandcorp Stadium before they got harassed online on social media and whatnot, and eventually they upgraded the pitch. It's not much better. It does take a shellacking, to be fair, but it's not, I guess, state of the art. But we'll go into that, I think, in dump two. There's more on that question there.
Yes. Look, I loved it. I was there all 3 days. Love the vibe of Brisbane, and I just feel like Brisbane's so good for it. And I live up here now, and it just helps the fact that it's a bit cheaper. Don't have to get accommodation and the like. But to be honest, next year I'm going to get the accommodation. I'm going to do everything, even though I live just down the road from it, because I just want to be in there. I want to be part of everything. It's so addictive, guys. Like it hurt. Like you wake up in the morning, you're hurting. Like I'm not even talking just about drinking. I'm just talking about like your body sore. It's a big day, like 3 games of rugby league. If you have a sunset, you're in the sun for half of the games, and but it is great. Everyone's happy. Everyone's loving life. You can turn around and talk to anyone about footy. That's the best thing about being at Magic Round. They're all footy heads. You can all have a conversation. Don't worry. The slushies go all right as well. They keep you going throughout the day. So shout out to the frozen cocktails. They were doing wonders. But loved it. Absolutely loved Magic Rounds. They do it so well. And I feel like this year with the Vegas trip, it sort of enhanced Magic Round to a certain extent, because those who can't afford the Vegas trip, which there's plenty of us out there who can't, Magic Round is sort of our thing, and we go, you know what, this is our chance to go, you know what, this is how you do it. This is how real rugby league fans do it. So, yeah, I loved it. Goosey, you want to read out dump number 2 for us?
Awesome. So dub number 2 is, should the Magic round move somewhere else? If so, where?
Syd, take it away.
Well, yeah. So I planted that seed on purpose. I enjoyed what you guys described as well. It looked like a real festival sort of feel. Would have liked some more footage of the people around Caxton and all that stuff. But the move, I would like just maybe once every 3 years or 4 years. I reckon Homebush could handle it. Sydney Olympic Park area, because everything's already there. It's designed for crowds outside the field as well as on the field. With there's lots of food stalls, past the footy stuff, all that kind of merch, all that stuff, and it would turn into like what you would say at the Easter show or finals and that. Homebush, I think, yeah, well equipped to handle Magic Round.
I'll say no. I think it needs to stay in Brisbane. I just think it does it so well. I understand the sort of the appeal there at Olympic Park, but I just feel like the vibe, the Caxton's right around the corner, which is just like the centerfold for Queensland Rugby League. Hotels not everywhere. So many pubs and stuff. They close the streets off. Looks so good. There's plenty of food options as well. So I love it. I don't think it should change at all. I think it needs to stay at Brisbane. Extend it for 20 years, I say, because I don't think it's going anywhere. Goose.
Nah, I agree with that. I think Brisbane's an amazing place, but I think if I had a choice, I would want to move it to Auckland. Like, obviously, being a Warriors supporter, like, it's all good in that, but like, I think the atmosphere, like, Brisbane has a nice atmosphere, but at least for like the Warriors game, I think like the game atmosphere would be crazy, and I think that would just back like with every single game, like the Broncos, there'd be Broncos people flying over. It would get New Zealand Rugby League making some money back over there after what they've been through COVID. I think it would just be good for the grassroots as well, just getting like the younger people at the game, getting them excited. And I think it's just a good idea to get it over in Auckland.
Not a bad shout at all. Dump number 3, Syd. Let us know what it is.
Okay, so I snuck over to the chat to remember what it was because I can't see it on the screen. So can Hasler turn the Titans into winners? Now we're seeing him score more points. We're seeing him playing some good footy and getting into the arm wrestle. But can they turn them into the winners, or is this season a write-off?
You know what? I was on the Titans bandwagon at the start of this year. I said they were a team on the up. I'm going to back myself here. They should have won that on the weekend. We're going to go into that a bit further in a couple of dumps time, but that decision was horrible with Brian Kelly. That was a try for all money, and they had a number of players out on the weekend. They had their 3 best attacking and probably organising players out in Jaden Campbell, Kieran Foran, and AJ Brimson, and they still put up a fight. Yes, Knights had no Kalen Ponga, but and Gamble to a certain extent, but they still had their organisers there. They still had Cogger, they still had Hastings, and for the Titans to be there and how close it was, and they should have had the 2 points, to me, should just have a pretty good playing group on their hands. And Des Hazard can work a little bit of magic, get that extra maybe playmaker in. Foran's on the end of his career. I think that they're a very, very good football team there. And for this year, I don't think they're spoon bound. I think they can start winning a few more games than they lose for this run home for season 2024. Goose?
As one of my brothers are a big Titans supporter, I'm praying that they're doing like they come good because he's been through a lot of years where it's been trash. Shout out to you, Ethan. But I think during the state of origin period is a very like important time for them. Like they got coming up, I was just looking at it just before. They got like the Rabbitohs, the Tigers, and the Warriors. Like they're not going to beat the Warriors, that's real, obviously not. But like they got the Tigers and the Rabbitohs in the like round 14 and 15, which I think is important for them to get the points. And I think they can get the points in those 2 games to give them the step forward and the momentum going into the later parts of the season. So I think they could make the top 8 and do good things under Hasler.
Not a bad shout. Syd?
Yeah, look, the squad, it's just too good. It's just too good. My only question is whether Hasler's style is suitable for the modern game. You see a lot of those good coaches, not like elite level like your Bennett's and Bellamy's, etc., but the level just below them, where they won a comp. And Michael Maguire is a great example that he's won a comp, but it just 3-4 years down the track, their style's just not suitable. That's the only question I have, but their squad's so good. And, David Fafita, mate, he's the beast. He's Raging Bull 2.0. He could build a squad around him, which is why the Roosters pushed so hard. And then he backflipped on him.
He did. Dump number 4. We asked this last week regarding the Manly Sea Eagles. This week we turned the blowtorch onto the North Queensland Cowboys. Contenders or pretenders in 2024, Goose?
Oh, I don't know. I think the way that they're playing right now, they're pretenders. 100% they're pretenders the way that they're playing right now. But I think they're a team under Todd Payton that could just flick a switch like this, and then they could just gain some form and momentum and just smash teams. But at the moment, as we look at the Cowboys and what they are doing right now, they're 100% pretenders.
Syd?
Yeah, look, on one hand, I'm really concerned about their defense. Obviously, they can score points. I mean, you could look at any one of a number of examples this season. Even the Dragons game, they won. They put 48 on us, but we scored 24 points. That's a worry for a lowly team. But having said that, historically, when teams score well, their defense tends to tighten up in the final third of the season in the finals because they have a structure there and they just add a little bit of desperation, a little bit more scramble, and all of a sudden you'd rather be better in attack than in defense. So, oh man, it's hard. I'll give him a contender. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
There's no benefit of the doubt here. I'm just giving him full of doubt. So I've got him as pretenders. People keep talking about the squad on paper, but they've said that about a number of teams. I'm sick of talking about on paper. I'm going to start giving credit to the teams that are actually producing on the field. We just spoke about one. The Titans, I would have probably a lesser squad in my opinion, and they seem to be at the moment playing probably better footy than the Cowboys, even though the later positions suggest otherwise. But I just think it's time to move on from Todd Payton. I think he's actually exhausted this playing squad in a way. I actually think his coaching methods, there was so much talk about how hard he drilled them 2 years ago when they did make that prelim final against the Eels and just how good they were and the sand dunes that they were doing and all the runs and stuff. But I just think he's probably continued that to an extent where this playing group just exhausted. They've got so much class in this team in Val Holmes, Scotty Drinkwater, Dearden, Cotter, Reece Robson, the list goes on. It just feels like on the field, I don't know what they're doing at training and stuff, but it just feels like they're not there on the field. And they're just conceding way too many points, in my opinion, to be known and to be put into that contenders category, in my opinion. Dump 5. Goosey, can you let us know this one? Can't wait to talk about this one.
I've been waiting for this moment the whole time. Dump number 5. Where to now for the Eels?
Syd, take it away.
All right, you give it to me first. All right. Just a reminder that it is 60 seconds and not 60 minutes because there's a lot. I like your shout out earlier. You did a quick video, unscheduled one. Respect to Brad Alpha. He did well. They had a couple of spoons. They had I think it was a salary cap issue, if I recall correctly. And he put them to contenders more often than not. I just think, aside from, again, Bennett, Bellamy, even Robertson from Roosters, all coaches have a use by date. Eventually, the players get over the same team talks, get over the same drills, the same training methods, the same sprays, if you like, everything. And it's just time to go. I think it was time to go a while ago. I can see why they waited because it's cheaper to keep him $1.5 million later, from what I've read. I'm not sure if that's right, but yeah, so where to the Eels? The only way is up. I think they will slightly improve, but they've got to pick up the pieces. There's a long way to go.
We're not improving on Trent Barrett, I'll tell you that much right now. Where to for the Eels? I can't wait. So I've been talking about Parramatta. I'm talking about out of my ear hole the last few hours. But as Syd said, the video came up. I'll say a quick thank you to BA for what he has done for the club. 11 years is no mean feat. Just it got to the point now where I think the playing group's got a bit stale. His coaching style's probably got a bit stale. I don't think it's changed since the year we've made the grand final. If I actually look at things and be brutally honest about things. He hasn't dropped players for mine who haven't been performing all year. Talking about the Lussics, the Lanes, the Sevos, they just continue to get walk-up passes for first grade, which I don't think any player deserves a walk-up jersey in first grade. You should always be made to work for it. And the fact that you continue to get named when you're not producing says a lot to me about your coaching style. He became too matesy with a lot of this playing group, in my opinion. It just wasn't going to work anymore. It was time to move on. They should have moved on a bit earlier, and we needed to get Wayne Bennett to actually do things, but we haven't. So that's looks like he's gone to the Bunnies, even though there is a smaller glimmer of hope that we can get him. That's who we need if we are looking at the future. And where to now? It's Wayne Bennett, but it just looks like we've unfortunately missed the boat. The other part is we need to start to move on. The chairman, the CEO, the like, they need to start going as well. We need to shake the club up from the top down, and a few players really need to start walking on as well. Goosey, your turn.
I think Brad Arthur, like, he had to go. Like, there was times where, like, I hate the Eels. I'm gonna be straight honest, but like, I actually felt bad for like Eels fans because it looked absolutely
Thanks,
miserable. I'm like, all out respect, but I think the thing that the Eels need at the moment is just like a new set of eyes, like a fresh start. Just like learn new things, new morals. Like when the Warriors were shit under Stephen Kearney, we got the Todd Payton in. And then he just had a different mindset. And I think the Eels just need a different mindset, a different change. And they just got to play for the badge and just give it a go. Play for the coach.
Bit of pride. Show some
Yeah,
heart.
100%.
Last tackle. Syd, let us know what the last tackle is.
All right, it'll be a chip and chase from our own 10-metre line on the last, all right? We're down by 6. So this is, the question is, given that the bunker has again produced perplexing decision after perplexing decision, just head scratches, right? Where everyone's like, yep, it's this way, and then they just come up with something so strange. I'm going to ask the question. Do we scrap it or do we tweak it?
Look, I feel like we can't scrap it. I think modern day sport, you have to have an element of this video technology in it to make things right. Look, let's be honest. There is a lot of decisions that they get right, and we use it for our benefit. But these clangers it just needs to stop. For my opinion, the clangers that are happening. Let's talk about the Brian Kelly one. He went up as a try. We were all at the ground watching, and it literally felt like it went for about 5.5 to 6 minutes, the decision. Where for most of it, because we don't get to hear what's going on with the TV cameras and stuff, we didn't know what was going on. All we saw was the touchy and the ref still standing there. And it got to the point where the referee wasn't even standing in front of where the kick should be. He was standing down near like the goal line. So I don't know what was going on. But if you need to look that much into a decision, we hear that they only look at stuff, and if there's obvious reasons why, they overturn the decision. If you're looking at that long, there is clearly not an obvious reason to overturn the decision. So it should have just went, no, the referee gave it a try. We're going to leave it as a try. Away we go. The clangers, if you need to look at a decision more than twice, in my opinion, stay with whatever the on-field decision was. Cut it. That's it. Done. Goosey?
100% agree. I don't think in today's society you can't scrap it, because even though that they're getting calls wrong, if that was to come out in like a grand final or something, and we didn't have like the technology to look at it, and they got the decision wrong, like that ref's gonna get smacked. But there's got to be ways that we work around it. And I agree with you, Joel. Like, if you can't decide in like a minute or two, looking at it different angles or something, it's just got to be like what happens on the on-field decision. Like, if it's not clear that you don't see a grounding or something like that, it's just got to be the on-field decision, and they just got to deal with it, and the rest just got to award it or not award it.
100%. Syd, you have the final say on this one.
Yeah, I would say tweak it, and I would say give two things. The people in the bunker, right? The so-called experts. We won't go into how they pick them and whatever else, and whether they're ex-players or not, ex-refs, etc. Give them license to exercise logic. So the obstruction where it was 3 passes in, the guy's not going to make the tackle, and he gets the slightest bump, and then he goes flying like he's a soccer player, right? And then they give a penalty. Like they got to exercise logic. Look, he wouldn't have got there. Yes, there was contact. He wouldn't have got there. And two, you got to back your refs. We keep saying protect the refs. There's no refs. There's no game. I'm fully for it. When I played, I hated the refs. I played for 16 seasons, but I always knew that if there's no ref, we can't play. And they got to back the ref. They disrespected him. He called a try, and then they're looking for reasons to overturn that decision. I'll keep it in 60 seconds, but that's all I'm going to say.
It could go for a while, guys. So we may go back to that one, but that's week 2 of quick dumps done and dusted. It's been a day, it's been a weekend, it's been everything. But we were committed. I was committed to getting you guys what you deserve, and that's the weekly shows. We want to keep it consistent at the moment. Love the growth, love everyone getting behind the page at the moment. It's been fantastic. So as I said on the post, it was great to get recognized, the page and the brand getting recognized. So doing some great things. Really appreciate all the feedback. Keep it coming. Glad you enjoyed the show. That is week 2 of Quick Dumps. We will see you tomorrow night for our Team List Tuesday and Supercoach chat, but we'll see you live Wednesday night, Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you give us a follow if you haven't already so you get that notification when the show is up. We will see you then. Thank you for listening.